Ghostbusters had some pretty questionable sexy stuff involving departed spirits, and Back to the Future boasted a scene where a time-traveling teen made out with his own mom. But when it comes to messed-up movie classics from the 80s, nothing beats 1984's Gremlins. Directed by Joe Dante, this horror comedy was so violent and disturbing that 2 months after it came out alongside the heart-ripping thrills of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the MPAA opted to change their entire rating system by adding PG-13 just to make sure that kids weren't allowed to wander into a theater to see something like this without having a parent in tow. It was also a massive hit, racking up an incredible $153 million at the box office, making over 12 times its budget and becoming the year's 4th highest grossing film. Considering it was up against franchise hits like Temple of Doom, Ghostbusters, and Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, that's no small feat. Audiences loved the combination of comedy, horror, and gross-out action, even if a few kids were thoroughly traumatized along the way. Give it a watch, and it's easy to see why. While it's set at Christmas, Gremlins is anything but holly jolly, especially when Phoebe Cates explains why she hates the holidays and tells the story of her father getting stuck in a chimney while dressed as Santa Claus and giving her the worst Christmas ever.
And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
If that wasn't upsetting enough, don't worry. The rest of the movie is devoted to Yuletide carnage and destruction that manages to go way past Die Hard, with the title monsters going on a full-on rampage. There are only 3 explicitly fatal on-screen attacks from the slimy little monsters, but the movie boasts plenty of violent slapstick moments that definitely resulted in the citizens of Kingston Falls shuffling loose this mortal coil. And the original script was even more terrifying, including a scene where Billy's mom was eaten alive and a massacre in a McDonald's that included entire families taken out between bites of McNuggets. Suffice to say, they were definitely not loving it. But while Kate's story about her father and the hyper-violent, gross-out comedy get a lot of attention, there's one weird aspect of Gremlins that nobody ever really talks about. If Randall Peltzer and his family had bothered to pay attention to what they were buying in Chinatown, they actually could have avoided the next 106 minutes of rampant destruction. Well, maybe not the part with Kate's dad ruining Christmas. For everything else, though, there's a warning right up front. When Billy's dad buys Gizmo in the opening scene of the movie, Mr. Wing refers to the fluffy little creature as a mogwai. Cute name for a pet, right? Wrong. Unfortunately for the Peltzers, Mrs. Deagle, and the rest of Kingston Falls, nobody thought to ask what mogwai actually means. If, however, you happen to speak Cantonese, you already know that it's literally just the language's word for monster or demon. That's usually a sign that there might be a problem here. Sure, Gizmo's adorable when he's in his normal fuzzy form, but think about it this way. If you went into an animal shelter and saw the cutest little puppy you'd ever seen, you might think it would make a good gift for the animal-loving child in your life. If, however, you found out that it was actually not a puppy, but a creature named self-replicating cannibal hellbeast who only thirsts for the blood of the innocent, you might reconsider sliding it under the Christmas tree. At the very least, you'd pay real close attention to those care and feeding instructions.
But the most important rule, the rule you can never forget, no matter how much he cries, no matter how much he begs, never feed him after midnight.
Unfortunately, the Peltzers haven't brushed up on their foreign languages, and Mr. Wing isn't really into explaining things to his customers. If he had been, then Kingston Falls might still have a movie theater. Then again, maybe it's a good thing they didn't. Sure, plenty of lives could have been spared if they'd kept Gizmo out of the water, but if the Gremlins never got loose, then Billy and Kate never would have gotten together, Lynn Peltzer wouldn't have shown off how much of a badass she can be in the kitchen, and we never would have gotten the high point of Hulk Hogan's cinematic career in Gremlins 2: The New Batch.
People pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth.
Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel, plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.